Welcome to Qi Men Dun Jia. My name is Dougles Chan. I'm the Qimen teacher. I teach Qimen internationally to different countries, and I conduct classes every few months. So today we're going to talk about this particular case study related to Squid Game, where a best friend actually invited you to join your venture to open up a new company to sell Squid Game costumes. So if you know that Squid Game is actually a very popular Netflix series, where actually this it actually hit the roof to let a lot of people all over the world actually watch Squid Game. And all of a sudden, this Squid Game thing is very, very popular. And apparently because of this particular activity that create a lot of this buzz, so there's a lot of merchandise are being sold worldwide because of this Squid Game. So the situation is this, where their friend is actually asking you to venture into this selling of Squid Game costume, where he believes that it's going to be very profitable after that particular burst. So in this case itself, we plotted this chart where it's around 2021, November the 1st, 11 p.m. So in this case, this particular Qi Men Dun Jia chart over here is telling us the potential of this venture and telling us whether is it likely going to be profitable. So in this case, we'll go step by step in the case study to see what can we see from this particular chart. This chart is a very interesting chart because this is called a full-in chart. So let me type it down. What does a full-in chart looks like? So it's pronounced as F-U-Y-I-N, full-in. Full-in chart. So in a full-in chart, what does it really mean? Meaning that this particular chart itself is going to be motionless, it's going to be slow, it's also going to be very painful. So this is the entire chart of full-in stand for. So the overall picture of this chart is actually a full-in chart. So in this case, most of the time when we were talking about a full-in chart, I will always highly recommend the person not to go ahead with any major decision in most of the cases. However, to let you go through the process of understanding the chart, what I will do is that I will go through the standard process of looking at this chart to see whether this is going to be profitable. So in this case, the first step we will need to see is to see the answer. Where is the answer? The answer is actually within the hour stamp, which I highlighted over here. This is called a 甲子. 甲子 equates automatically to 物. So 物 itself, this is the answer, represent in the box of box number 8. So box number 8 is telling us the representation of all the different symbols, which we got the leader, life, and a diplomat. So in this diplomat itself, there is also a horse. Horse telling us that this is something will be either is unstable or probably is going to be related to overseas. So if this venture is going to be selling Squid Game costume, it's likely to be overseas. So in this case, the not being stable may not really apply in this situation. So with a leader, life, and diplomat, all of the red symbol actually tell us is something really very interesting, which means that the answer is likely to be good in the macro level, on the micro level, excuse me. So next, we look at where are you? That means where is the asker, the person that is involved. So we will need to look at the day stamp. This is over here. We have the Jia, Jia Ying. Okay, Jia Ying is over here. So Ying equates to a Kui. Kui, this is a Kui. So Kui is over here, box number 3 itself. Box number 3, we have an injury, we have an impulse, and we have a 9 heaven. So in this case itself, we are talking about the current status and the future status of yourself. So in this particular question that we are targeting, we are talking about an injury, which is a 9 heaven. So injury 9 heaven, it does not spell very good because injury is already a very, very bad door. Second worst door in the doors itself, the 8 doors itself. And with an impulse, it's telling us not to be very impulsive in making this decision to go ahead with this particular venture. And 9 heaven plus injury, meaning that Nine Heaven is actually high, a very tall building, a very high in terms of looking at things. But if we were to combine the injury plus Nine Heaven, meaning that the injury itself can also means that it's going to be a very high injury. So injury may not be physical injury, it can be mental injury, it can be like this financial injury also. So which means that in this particular chart is actually hinting to you that you may likely get to lose money, and this money is going to lose a lot of money. Okay, so in this case itself, we also look at whether the bandit star is equates to this particular symbol called the Tianpeng. Tianpeng also means something related to losing money. So in the losing money situation where it belongs to box number 1, which is the water element, and you are over here, which is box number 3, the water element and the wood element actually is being produced to you. So which is to say that the ability to lose money or lose big money is actually coming to you directly. That means it's producing you, which is not a very, very good thing to associate with. So in this case, I am very, very, I would say, cautious about this particular venture where it is likely to make, there's potential make money, but there's also a potential to lose money. So which means that your profit will come in a very short term. That means when you start, you can actually have a big bang on it. But after a while, because the whole process, the whole Squid Game is actually a very short span of time in terms of the enthusiasm. So it will be like a spike. You know, the interest will go up, and then after that, it will go down all the way. So in this case, it might not be a very interesting venture to go into. And supported by the fact of this full wing chart. So generally, when we talk about full wing chart, I will not recommend anybody to go into this particular decision making using Qi Men Dun Jia chart. So in this case, moving forward is that I would highly recommend not to go ahead with it. So in this case, we would not be going into this particular venture for this Squid Game costume. So this is a basic idea of how we actually look at this achievement chart to decide whether to go ahead in this particular business venture. Okay, thank you very much for watching this particular video. See you again. Welcome to Qi Men Dun Jia. Hello, my name is Dougles. Today, the case study that we are talking about is related to somebody who has actually contacted the virus of COVID-19. And will he be able to survive this particular situation? So COVID-19 is actually a virus that's happening from this 2019 November. It seems that it's originated from China, but of course, China denies it. But end of the day, where it comes from does not matter. The virus has actually contacted and spread around the world, and millions of people have been affected, and there are a lot of people died because of this. So in this case study, we are talking about this person who is a friend who has just contacted COVID-19 and text you and ask if he will survive this particular incident, where it's happening in 2021, April the 2nd, and text on this somewhere around 9 p.m. So in this case study of Qi Men Dun Jia, we are looking at, based on this chart, to see whether this person is able to survive this particular situation. So in this case, what we do is that first step first, we need to find where is the answer. The answer is actually in this hour stamp, which is actually over here. Let me highlight this hour stamp, which is reference to this HR. So this symbol itself is called thing. So we need to take reference from the thing itself, which is over here. So thing is in box number 4. So representing the symbols are Nine Heaven, open, and fearless. So there's a horse over here, so telling us that something is not stable. So the answer is telling us that open door is actually a very good door to associated with, and night heaven is also a very good this particular so-called symbol to take reference to. But of course, fearless, there will be some blood-related issue, which means that probably he may get injured or there's internal bleeding inside. So something which is to be concerned of. But however, the open door is actually the best door to be associated with as mentioned. So meaning that the answer may not be so bad at all. So having said that, let's take a look at your friend. Where is the friend? The friend is actually referred to this day stamp, which is in the Geng. This is represented by the symbol called Geng. Geng. So we need to take reference from Geng, Geng, which is over here. So box number 9 itself is actually somebody who is your friend and with a rest door, with a leader, with a problem star. So with a emptiness, so an emptiness actually telling us the energy of this particular box number 9 may not be so strong. So it's also telling us that the status of this person, the current status and the future status, that he will actually have the potential of going to be resting. Resting, that means it's recommended that there will be some rest involved. So that is something whereby it is pretty positive, I would suspect. And with a leader in Chinese we call 知府. 知府 is actually one of the best actually symbol to be associated with. So something which is good to have. And there's a problem star, meaning that along the way, there are actually a lot of issues to be addressed to. So we need to be very, very careful about. And with the emptiness, it actually makes the whole box of box number 9 not very, very high in terms of energy. So that is part 2. And if we look at the problem star equates to the related to these medical issues. So medical issues, health issue, we look at the problem star. So problem star, which is over here. That means the problem star is associated with the rest door and the leader. So technically the health issue will not be too bad. Although COVID itself is still a virus, but with this problem star associating with a rest door and the leader, it is not too bad. Actually, it's quite good. So we also need to see the answer itself. The answer is actually a good answer. And with this element itself, this is green color, which is wood. This is red color, which is fire. So the wood is actually producing box number 9, which is the fire. So technically the energy of box number 9 will be increased. So it's actually a good thing. When you are being produced by something good, this is something where you have to really understand that it's going to be a positive answer. So in this case itself, for your friend, I'm not very worried about this in this case because most of the direction indicated is quite positive. So end of the day, the divination for Qi Men Dun Jia under this case for this COVID-19 is going to be positive. So that means he will be able to survive this particular instant. So moving forward, as we understand from the person is that actually this person had recovered from the COVID situation. And at this point of time, he's actually very healthy. So having said that, we are able to, based on this Qi Men Dun Jia, to see something in the near future. Accuracy can be between 70 to 90%. But of course, we must understand something is that this is just a guide. It's a compass to tell us about what direction it will likely to land. But the accuracy also depending on the person who is reading the chart. That means the skill set of the level, how experienced this person, and whether he knows the correct step to read a chart itself. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my other videos on Qi Men Dun Jia. Hey, welcome to Qi Men Dun Jia. My name is Douglas Chan. Today, we're going to talk about this case study related to health divination for an ICU case. So this particular question was asked to me around November 1st, 2021. And the question is asked that this friend whose grandmother is actually in the ICU, and whether this person is able to overcome this particular incident. So in this case, what we need to do, we have to look at a couple of things. First is we need to look at the answer. We need to look at where is the person involved, which is the grandmother. So in this case, we also have to see the year stamp of the person, that means the grandmother, with take reference from which year he is born, she is born, and from there we're able to see where is she located within this chart itself. Then we can see the relationship between the health issue and also herself. So in this case, what we need to do is first of all, we need to look at the answer. The answer will be actually in this stamp called the hour stamp. So which is, let me highlight the hour stamp for you. This is hour stamp. And the symbol over here is called Wu. So we take a look at the Wu itself, which is represented in this particular box number 7. So box number 7 itself is telling us an answer. So an answer meaning that we look at the door itself. This is the door, the death door. So the death door is actually the worst door to be associated with. And with a problem star, which is doesn't indicate very interesting. And with a 9 heaven, 9 heaven is also generally for Qi Men Dun Jia divination, 9 heaven is quite a positive symbol to be associated with. But in this case of the health issue, then 9 heaven is not a positive symbol to be associated with. There are special cases we need to understand in this aspect. So this is part 1. Second part is, as we move along, I actually go and check the birth year of this person. And interestingly, this person's birth year, it belongs to the thing called Xin, Xin. Okay, Xin, Xin. So let me type it down first, Xin. So Xin itself, which is symbolized by this particular thing called the Xin, which is over here. Xin is this box number 7 also. So which is to say that the Xin is together with the box number 7, which is the death door, 9 heaven, and problem star. So which means that the matter element within box 7 itself is in harmony with the person, the grandmother. So technically, I am not very optimistic about the case whether this person is able to overcome the situation in the ICU. And one thing we need to understand is usually when we associate it with death door is the worst door to be related to. And at the same time, this 9 heaven, when we combine death door and 9 heaven together, you know, one is a death door, one is a 9 heaven, and we combine together, meaning that this death door is actually amplify the situation of the death door. But of course, we can also see that this is a matter. Environment box 7 is matter, and then this 9 heaven is also a matter. So that is to say that matter and matter in harmony, it actually increases in the energy of this 9 heaven. That means the death door supposedly to be combined with this 9 heaven is increased. That means it's amplified. But with the environment itself, the 9 heaven actually amplified more. That means it's more than double or can be triple, or, you know, then the thing about this particular situation is the signal that is going to give us is not good. In all cases whereby the answer is no good, the health is no good, the person involved is also no good. So in this case, I will very suggest that the friend to prepare for the worst, because the grandmother likelihood will not overcome this this round. So moving forward, what happened was that the friend actually messaged me telling me that the grandmother actually had passed away in this situation. So of course, moving forward, what we need to do is using a Qi Men Dun Jia chart, we are able to forecast what's likely going to happen. But of course, end of the day is sometimes is we need to share certain information that's a bit sensitive. We need to be a bit careful on what are the words to use and what are the words not to use. You know, we cannot tell people that, okay, because of this chart itself, we're going to say that this person is going to die, you know, in the next day or next week itself. This is not the best way to tell the person, although it's true, but, you know, we have to use a bit of, you know, good words, or maybe we use a word better EQ to tell people that yes, your grandmother may likely not able to overcome this situation, or maybe things like just hope for the best and prepare for things, hope for a miracle to happen. You see, we cannot just bluntly tell people that this is going to be, you know, the grandmother is going to die. I think this is the worst Qimen teacher or Qimen master is going to be related to. You see, so understanding how to see achievement is one thing, but the ability to tell people the correct information and yet using the right words to use so that it will not hurt the person or the family. You see, because sometimes this kind of thing is very sensitive. So we have to be very, very careful in terms of the words and the sentence that we use. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Do continue to watch the rest. Hello, welcome to Qi Men Dun Jia. My name is Dougles Chan, Qimen teacher internationally, and I'm going to share with you this one case study related to finding a job. So in this case where Grace asked if it's a good timing to find a new job now. So which means that in 2021, August the 2nd, Grace informed and asked whether this is a good time to look for a job. I mean, the 2021 August is actually a COVID situation. So in this case, it may not be a very good timing, but let's look at the chart itself and see what is the chart telling us. So in this case, this is anything related to job itself. We have to take a look at this particular symbol called the open door. So anything related to job is called the open door. Okay, so let me type it out first. This is open door. So in this case, first of all, let's highlight where's the open door first. Open door is actually symbolized by this particular symbol, which is over here. Okay, so this in box number 7. So before we look at the open door, let us look at what is the information that is provided. That means our stamp, as we know, this is the answer. Is it a good time to find a new job now? So this is the who equates to the answer. Okay, we take reference to the hour stamp. Let's refer to who, which is over here. So in this case, we are looking at the white tiger, this obstruct and a destroyer, and also there's a circle over here that in technical term is called an emptiness. So an emptiness within an answer itself, we won't need to take reference of box number 3, only 20 to 30% only. So in order to do so, to find the correct answer, we need to take reference to the opposite box, which is box number 7. Okay, so box number 7 is actually the answer which is more percentage, which is about 60 to 70%. So technically, box 7 is telling us that we have an open door, we have a leader, we also have an impulse. So within the box 7, which is also the trigrams of Tui Palace, this is something whereby it's something a smiley face, something which is good. So technically, box 7 answer is supported by the environment, which is also supported by the open door, which is the best door to be associated with. And at the same time, we have a leader over here. Leader is also the best symbol to be associated with. So something where we need to understand. So of course, there's an impulse star, which is not so great, but the open door and the leader itself is actually two big pillars to be supportive in this aspect. So anyhow, We would need to look at where is the person involved. The person involved, which is Grace, which is called the day stamp. So the day stamp represent the person. So we have a Ren. This is Ren. This symbol is called a Ren. So we take reference with Ren. So in this aspect, Ren is also together with box 7 itself. So together with open door, the leader, and the impulse. So end of the day is telling us that this is something which is her character. You know, he's very happy, he's very open. He's also a good leader, but of course, sometimes he can be very impulsive in terms of as a person. And it's together with the answer, so meaning that it's in harmony. And at the same time, if we take a look at this open door, which is the over here, and at the same time, the open door is also signify the job, career, opportunity. So meaning that the job itself, the reference point of this open door, we do not look at the energy of this open door. This is a reference point. That means in technical term, they call it using the reference of the symbol to see what is that particular energy of the job itself. So we have a leader, we have an impulse. So the reference point is only referring to the leader and the impulse. We do not take into account of the open door itself, because that is the reference point when we look at the reference symbol, especially for a career-wise. So there are three things. One is the person involved, which is box 7. One is the answer, which is box 3 and box 7. 7 is 60-70% of the energy. Box 3 itself is 20-30% of the energy. The other thing is the open door with a symbol of leader and impulse. So overall, still not too bad. So end of the day is for this particular job itself, in this divination case, when Grace were to ask us whether it's a good time to find a job in this August 2nd, then I would dare to say that it's pretty okay. She can try to go and find a job now, because it's a very critical situation in 2021 under COVID situation. So moving forward, we have received this news that Grace has actually applied for a job, and she has been successfully interviewed by another company, and she has moved on to another company in this case. So we congratulate her on this aspect, and we hope that she will enjoy and this particular new job, and hope that everything will be okay. Okay, so for Qi Men Dun Jia, we are able to use divination, or it's called Qimen forecasting, to see if this person, in terms of timing, is it able to find a new job? But of course, sometimes certain timing whereby the chart is no good, then we will advise the person to say, probably this is going to be a very bad timing, because end of the day it's not a very good thing to happen. So anyhow, let's look further. I mean, I will teach you something extra in this aspect. So in this particular, all the 9 boxes itself, we also have a month. Okay, so which month is good to find a job? So which means that this is January, February, March, over here in box 3, box 4, May, June, July, August, September, okay, October. So the best time to find a job is somewhere around October. So we are quite, that means in terms of timing itself, although this chart is telling us that it's a good approach to find a job, the best energy if she wants to find a job will be in 2 months later, somewhere around October itself. So of course, the end result is she's able to find a job, So, and at the same time, the chart itself is able to tell us when is the best date in terms of the month to go into. Of course, we can go to the day itself, but that will be something very deep. We will cover that in the other lessons. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Ciao.